Take two. We're live again. Hello. I can't see if there are any comments for some reason. I am struggling with technology today. Aha! Aha! I found them. Hello. Hi, how are you? How are you? I'm great. and asks for a free lesson. Hello, Germany. Hi, Sabina. If you want a free lesson, ask me some questions, and I will answer them as best as I can. Hope that mic wasn't on, because that would have been loud for everybody. Yeah, how is everybody doing today? Happy Imbolc. It is officially the day directly between winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, winter solstice and equinox, the spring equinox, I think. So I should have a candle, really, to signify light. But I don't have a candle here, so instead I have fairy lights. Fairy lights to signify Imbolc. I'm great. I'm doing really well. I've had a very chill Sunday. I came to the studio early afternoon to get some work done. I've been working on an album that isn't mine. And working very slowly, and I was just like, oh, I'm not really doing anything. So I went out and I got active and I moved my body, and now I feel much better than when I started. I'm sorry to hear you have the flu. That sucks. That sucks. I have a Desert Rose here that I haven't played in a while, I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna play that. Yeah, and if anybody has any things that they want to learn, sure. We can have a chat. I'm gonna put the light on. Whoa. Let there be light. This is a good scale. If anybody knows my piece, Mandala Mind, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna try and play it. So I haven't played it in a while, and I want to re-record it for my upcoming album. So I need to practice it. Almost. I've almost still got it. Cool. I want to see if I can make this chat box bigger. I'm on a different thing now. I don't know. Hey, Phil. It is a C sharp. It's not the C sharp. I have a lot of pans in C sharp. This is actually a Desert Rose, which is a C sharp harmonic minor scale. But the ding isn't C sharp, it's a G. The C sharp is actually underneath. Which I used to have another version of this scale, which didn't even have a low C sharp on it. But last year, in fact, exactly this time last year, I went back to Milan and Mimi remade it for me and improved the mutant notes. They're so crisp now. They were crisp before, but now they're amazing. And added some extra notes on the bottom as well, including that C sharp. And yeah, that's a beaut. But it needs a bit of a clean. Don't tell her that it's dirty. Yeah, that's the Desert Rose. I don't play that often enough. I've only ever composed that one piece on it. I find it quite difficult to navigate. It's a challenge, which is good. But yeah, I'd really like to play that more. Have you ever played Handpan on the Shruti box? No, but I would really love to. A friend of mine, Leia, maybe you might know Leia, plays with a Shruti box. And in the Handpan duo Maya, they use a Shruti box, and it sounds lovely. It sounds really nice. I don't know how to make this chat bigger. Ha! Success. Yeah. The name of that piece was Mandala Mind, and there is a version of it on YouTube already, with the older pan, with the other pan, and less rehearsed. Actually, more rehearsed than that. But hopefully soon, maybe in a couple months, I will have it re-recorded and released on Spotify and all the platforms. I'm working on an album 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago now, when I was recording this. Ta-da! This is my album, The Earth Teaches, with a design from my friend Louise Burrows. It's a drawing of me. The photo of me was taken by my friend Nick in Italy years ago, and I had short hair. And I was like, Lulu, can you draw me this from this picture, but with long hair? That'd be great. And she did. It looks really cool. And here I am on the CD too. Anyway, I digress. When I recorded all of the Handpan tracks for this album, which must have been 2021, maybe 2021. I was recording in my old bedroom that I'd moved out of in my parents' house, and I turned it into a studio just for a week. And by turned it into a studio, I mean I put these microphones in one place. I didn't have a bass mic yet at the time, and I got like bedding and I was using that you sleep in when you go camping. What do you call it? Sleeping bags. And I hooked them like across the room to use as like acoustic conditioning for the room so that it was completely dead when you clapped. And I said that I experimented with the mics and had them set up in the perfect spot and everything, and I rehearsed, and I recorded all of the Handpan tracks for the Earth Teachers, most of which I ended up not using anyway. I ended up re-recording them in various different places with various different instruments and stuff. In fact, some of the tracks on that album were actually recorded on this Zoom in a cabin in the middle of the woods. And then I had to do a lot of editing with the audio to make that sound as crisp as the rest. Anyway, so I recorded all the Handpan tracks for that, and at the same time, I recorded a Handpan composition album that wasn't songs. These are all songs. These are mantras and folk songs and pop songs, I guess, on here. But this was just all Handpan music, and I recorded all of the compositions that had stuck with me that I liked from the 10 years that I've been, at that point, 7 years that I've been playing. Some of them are really good, like Mandala Mine. I'm really proud of that one. Some of them now, I look at them and I'm like, not so great. And the recording on some of them wasn't so great. The performance, I've improved a lot since then, now that I'm able to dedicate actual, many hours to practicing, and I've got a studio to do that in. So I never ended up releasing it because I fell out of love with it, but I recently went back and had a listen, and some of the tracks are not so great. Some of them are not so great. But there's a few golden ones in there, so I'm going to release a little EP, and as part of that, I'm going to re-record Mandala Mind. So I've been mixing that slowly. Hi, Mum. Good to see you. Happy Imbolc. Yeah. Anyway. That was a big tangent. Any other questions? No. Do you have a favorite Handpan maker? Yay! I'm glad you're enjoying the tutorials, Jimmy. That's great. Do I have a favorite Handpan maker? No. But I have Handpan makers that I go to that I feel confident in. I moved to where I live now in order to live closely with and work with Meridian Handpans. And I have three instruments from them. 3 of my Handpans are from Meridian Handpan. And I work with them a lot because I really, really, really love their Handpans. And I have 2 instruments from Alaya because I really love the sound of theirs as well. I'm a big fan of bright, long sustain, crisp instruments, and I feel like that's something that both Meridian and Alaya do really well, and that's why I like them a lot. So that's who I play mostly. But I'm sure, there are loads of amazing makers out there that I haven't that I haven't played yet, that I have played but don't own instruments from. So yeah. Hi Natalie, good evening. I can't read French. Sorry, but maybe Rosie can translate in the comments for me. 1,000 thanks for something. You're welcome, maybe, potentially. Possibly, I don't know. Can you play some percussion with your feet while you play Handpan? Is that a dare? Are you daring me to play percussion with my feet while I play Handpan? Probably. Alright, let's do it. Why not? It's happening. This is not a Handpan stand. This is a cajon. I wish that I had something that's on my wish list is Oh! If Phil's still here, I can indeed play percussion with my feet. Where did I put it? Oh no. I tidied my studio the other day, now I don't know where anything is. But I do have something for this. Somewhere. This is not what I'm looking for. Ha! Ta-da! This is a gift from Trail Running Phil, and I haven't practiced with it yet, so we'll see how this goes. But this will allow me to play percussion at the same time as playing handpan. And potentially somehow, no, that's not going to work, is it? How am I going to play the cajon at the same time? It's too tall, really, for me to sit on. Welcome to my live streams. They are manic. Thank you, Rosie, for translating Natalie's comment. Amazing. Yeah, Hannah suggests to choose a handpan maker from your own country, probably the best. Absolutely. That's why I went with Meridian handpans first. It just so happened that they were brilliant. Yeah, totally. If you are with a maker who is close to you, then they're available for retunes, for advice. You can go and visit, try some scales, etc., etc. Or at least in the same, union. Everything is quite difficult bringing instruments into the UK at the minute. Yeah. Okay, all right, I'm gonna try it. I need a scale that's like, What scale should I play? I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't think this is gonna work. No, because when I move, it moves the whole pan. Maybe I'll just stick to the... Okay, I'm not going to play the cajon. That was a silly idea. That was a very silly idea. I feel like a Morris dancer. Can you hear my foot? Is it working? I should play some cover style. I don't actually know how this song goes. Okay, are you ready? This is hard. If you want Cave's ankle bell skills and composition, maybe listen to his music, not me trying to do it. That's a really good track though. Which one is that? Does anybody know? I can't remember what that one's called. Can't remember how that one goes. Land of Naylor. Land of Coal. It's a tune. That was one of the first like handpan tracks that I ever fell in love with back in the early days. Yeah. Phil, my mum is in the chat and she says, "Oh, that's so cool, I want one." So you have to let us know where you got it from. Yeah. You got a good blue sky. Yeah. Like a cajon with a pedal. Yeah, I need a pedal with my cajon so that I can play it. That's so lucky that your handpan is maker is half an hour from your house. That's incredible. I can one-up you on that though. Mine lives in my house. I literally loved the handpan so much that I moved in with my handpan maker. I moved across the country to move in with my handpan maker and friends. Yeah. No, I didn't get a new top. This is from. You'd really like them actually, Mum. This is from last spring, I think, or the spring before. Last spring when I went to America, and I was doing the East Coast tour. I played with a band called I played in the same lineup as a band called Holy River. They're a duo. They're a couple. And she had a Shruti box, and he had like a drum, and they were doing beautiful harmonies, and they were silly and fun, and sang a lot about saving the planet. And then after that, they went on tour. They were supporting Rising Appalachia, so it's that kind of music. They're really cool, and I bought their top. In fact, no, that's not true at all. I didn't buy this then. Then I went back to America, and I was in Asheville, North Carolina, staying with Becca, who makes Spirit Handpans, another amazing brand. And I went to a gig that her partner was playing at, and it was one of the Rising Appalachia people, and the lady who did da 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 da, blessed we are to dance on this land with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. That song, remember, she was there, she played, and these were there again. I was like, all right, I think they were, or their merch was there anyway. I don't actually remember seeing them play, to be honest. Anyway, I digress. Agata, they're amazing. I love their instruments. Yeah. That's inspired me. Dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints, carry the sound. What chord is that? Dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints, carry the sound. We pray for a life that one's yet to come. May we walk in beauty and remember your son. Remember why we came here. Remember your life is secret. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is secret. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Blessed we are to dance on this ground, the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. Pray for our life, for the ones yet to come. May we walk in beauty and remember your son. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Yeah. D minor, A minor, C, G, exactly. Do you want to jam along? Jonas has got the chords in the chat. If you've got a D chord handpan or a guitar or something else. Blessed we are to dance on this ground, with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. I want to pray for the earth, for the ones yet to come. Maybe walk in beauty and remember our son. Blessed we are to dance on this ground, with the rhythm of saints to carry the sound. Pray for our life, for the days yet to come. May we walk in beauty and remember your son. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Remember why you came here. Remember your life is sacred. Don't know how that song ends, but it's a good song. Anyway, so she was there, and that's where I got this top. Pia is her name, is that right? Pia? 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 Pia, I can't remember. I don't know if anybody knows. Please tell me. Let's see if I can remember the song from yesterday. Whee! If you were here yesterday, you were here while I wrote a song. Or rather, I had written a song that morning, and I put it on a handpan. How did it go? That's why I have the Desert Rose out. It's all coming together. Oh my god, whenever I move now, I'm jingling. Okay, I remember now. Hey, Luca, you're in luck. I'm glad you enjoyed those videos. The one that's coming out tomorrow, I think, is another polyrhythm video, and it's tricky. and it's really difficult and it's really fun. Just keep an eye out for that one. 4 o'clock tomorrow. No, that's not right. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I want to be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I want to be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I want to be is beating in time with you. I just realized this song is perfect, that it's Imbolc, and it's all about bringing in the light. And I wrote this song yesterday. That's wild. Alright, we have an Imbolc song. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. I wrote this to be a call and response, so if anybody at home wants to jam along, get a drum out, get a handpan out, get a guitar out, or sing along, then let's jam together. Go like this, repeat after me. The light in me sees the light in you, sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you, is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you, is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you, is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you, beating in. Let's put it all together. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. Yeah. Oops. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. Light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. The light in me sees the light in you, and all I wanna be is beating in time with you. Ta-da! Happy Imbolc! Yay! Oh, I forgot I had this on my foot. I didn't use it. Oops. We need a remix. Oh, yeah. That's such a good idea. Need someone to remix it. Woo! Woo! Yeah. Cool. Thanks, Eunice. You want to remix this? You can't find this tune. I wrote it yesterday. I haven't recorded it yet. Yeah, maybe I'll record it and put it up at some point, and then you can have it remix away. That'd be really cool. Thanks, Nicholas. That'd be awesome. I was going to ask about how to add muted notes into a song, and then you just did. Yeah. You just do it, don't you? Yes. I really enjoy kind of just focusing on one note and grooving with it. In the same way that I would the ding, right? So say I've got a groove that's like a rock groove. And then I were to like place my hand down to mute that. And then I were to bring different textures into that tack sound rather than just a slab. And then different textures into the ding rather than just the muted tone. So it's all just the same one hand after the other kind of ghost notes pattern, but I'm accenting and using different textures in different places. And then I can add some of these little drumstick fills, daga daga, which is just right, right, left, left, middle, pointer, middle, pointer. Oops. And then I can choose when to open the sound and when to mute it so that I'm, again, bringing even more texture into that. And then I can move all of that idea onto any note. You just have to be a little bit more delicate with it. But there's like so much that you can find in the little nuances of these notes, especially when you kind of play around on the edge and in the center of the note and then moving further out to get more of that tinny sound. And there's little harmonics you can play with. And then, yeah, so you can play around with that anywhere that you like. And then if you've got a chord progression like I just had going, which in my case is C sharp minor, G sharp minor, F sharp minor, A major, right? And the groove, which is these tap sounds. And then everything that I was just doing, I can put into practice in this in-between space. And then I can also bring other notes in. And I can choose like when I want to utilize this. Like so. There you go, a little mini lesson on how to mute notes. Oh, Phil's asking more questions. I appreciate it, sounds great on its own, but in operating it into all the other lovely resonance tones, I guess, as a full or a bridge to the next verse, as a fill or a bridge to the incorporating like a bridge. Oh, did I answer your question already? Maybe I answered your question already. Yeah, and like using it as a fill, but also just as the kind of melody that's happening, as the groove even. And the reason I'm doing that in this case is actually because I'm playing on an E major pan. I'm playing on an E sub I, but the song that I was singing was in C sharp minor, which is the relative minor of E major. That means E major and C sharp minor share all of the same notes in the scale. They just start in different places. One starts on E, one starts on C sharp, and that's why it feels different. And so my C sharp, my ding for this piece, if you like, is underneath. So I can't do all of this stuff while I play. And if I were to do it on the E, sounds cool, but it makes it sound like it's kind of fighting between the two keys. Is it in C sharp minor or is it in E major? You're playing the chords of C sharp minor, but then you're in between rooting it in the E, which gives it this kind of push and pull, which if that's what you're going for, then you can use that in a really interesting way. But in this case, that's not what I was going for. And so automatically, basically, I just shifted everything that I was trying to do here onto this note, which is a C sharp 4, which is the same note, and I just grooved on there instead because I can't groove on the ding. I guess I could a little bit, but mostly I was doing it here in order to root it in that C sharp minor. That's why I was grooving there. Yeah, cool. Glad to answer that question. And it's especially even more fun, especially for you, Phil, if you've got such a deep pan as well, and the notes that you've got are quite low. There's even more nuance and intricacies that you can find in those lower notes, because there's more surface area to explore, I guess, and yeah, more depth of the tone. So groove on the other pan thing. This one? This feels like, I feel like I'm reading comments and then just doing the thing. Like yesterday, someone asked how I feel about mantras while playing the handpan. And I was like, all right, I'll write a mantra. Today, someone was like, can you play percussion with your feet? And I was like, all right, I'll play percussion with your feet. And now I'm just doing all of the things that people talk about in the comments. And it's reminded me of that one time that I fell into the deep, dark depths of TikTok Live. Have you ever seen TikTok Live before? Probably a lot of you here haven't, because it's not really our kind of scene, I guess. But it's a terrifying place. There's like people live on TikTok, and they're like just kind of sat there, or there was one, and he was sitting on a like a platform that would open and drop him into a plunge pool if people sent specific emojis, I think, in the comments, and it made you do certain things. So there's people there just kind of sitting there, and then when you tell them to say something, they go, "Woohoo, hello, boo, boo, boo." It's really weird and scary, and it was one of those like kind of, you know, that like car crash phenomena. It's like, it's horrible, but I can't look away. I was just on it for ages, just like, what? Anyway, I feel like I'm doing that, but more wholesome. No, it's a G. This one is a G sharp. The other one is C sharp, the one that looks exactly the same. Anybody watching this back without the live comments? I think it's really weird. Yeah, this one is an Elia. This one is Meridian. I play Meridian and Elia. Yeah, so this is G sharp that I have next to me. It's really difficult to groove next to you. How am I going to do this without clashing? I could just get the C sharp out, couldn't I? That would make more sense, probably. Whee! Also, fun fact that I've just realised as I lifted my arms up. Good job this isn't smelly vision. I went to the gym today and I'm not wearing deodorant. That's disgusting. Okay. I could just play this song on that pattern, couldn't I? Couldn't I? I have to get my chord book out again if I'm going to do that. Yeah, C sharp. Where's my C sharp? I don't have G sharp minor on this pan. I only have G sharp diminished. These are how do I don't know which note is the G sharp. That one. All right, I'm not gonna do that. I give up. I wipe my hands clean of it. You can groove on the C sharp ding if it was next to you. Stop making ludicrous requests. Ow, I just hit myself in the face with a handpan. Okay. Now I don't have the G sharp. Anyone next to me? Nice the way I played it before. I think I'm just gonna do that. Yeah, I would need. But the thing is, my Isabai doesn't have a low G sharp because it's not as decked out as some people's Isabais. Welcome to any conversation between Rosie and I at any point in any day. It's just handpan nerding. Just me asking theory questions. Basically. Okay. So, big question, how to make your job. I'm guessing you mean job. How to make your job. How do I make this my job? You see the thing that's rolling on the bottom of the screen? That's how I make this my job, is I ask people for money. basically. Yeah. I ask people for money politely. No. So when I was still at university, or when I just left. No, when I was still at university, I was studying percussion. I was studying taiko drumming. So I dived into it, and I was also making music. I was a songwriter, and I was playing guitar, and I was gigging a lot at local gigs, but I was earning like 25 quid a gig, something like that. Not a lot of money. Um, um, so yeah, so I was doing that, and then I just stumbled into teaching. The best way to make money from music is teaching, because there isn't really any money anymore in selling your songs, because streaming has happened. Spotify exists, and you just don't really make any money from that now. So you just kind of have to do it for the love of it, or tour like crazy. Thank you, Phil. That's very kind. So in order to make music your job, you have to be willing to teach. I think you have to hone your craft and be willing to teach. And I started teaching back when I still wasn't really that good at what I was doing. I started teaching taiko before I was teaching handpan, and I was still learning. And I think knowing where you are, knowing where your strengths are, can make you a really good teacher. And I knew what I could offer, what I couldn't offer. I knew when I had to stop and when a different teacher had to take over. But I was only a couple of steps ahead of the students at any one time. So that kind of enabled me to be really like, what's the word? Like, to be kind of like this with the students. Like, I understood where they were at because I was there literally 2 days ago. Like, I was still only a couple of steps ahead. I was still studying. And so that helped me to be a good teacher. And I took some teacher training, and I shadowed teachers and stuff. And so then when I came to handpan, I got very lucky, I think, and we are all very lucky in this particular instrument, because we're still, all of us here today are like right ahead of what's gonna explode. Like, handpan's gonna get popular because it's really cool, and we know it's really cool. We all know it's really cool. And so if you can be at the beginning of that, start teaching, start playing, be the busker on the street that is in so many people's handpan story. I saw someone busking in the streets of Barcelona, and I wanted a handpan. Like, we are all that person for people in life. And so being ahead of that curve, it kind of, when I started teaching, I think, especially putting stuff on YouTube, it was just perfect timing. And so I'm really lucky that I'm able to. And I started teaching when I still didn't have very many overheads, so I could charge very little and practice. Before I kind of really felt confident and knew what I was doing, I was very cheap. And so I did that for a while, got lots of experience, traveled around, learned from lots of different teachers, learned from lots of different disciplines. And then started to build up ways that I could make it my living. So it's tricky because I really want to give things away for free. Like, I'm really passionate about free education and free music education. And there's not a huge amount of handpan education in general yet, or at least there wasn't 5-10 years ago. So I just want to put everything out on YouTube completely for free, which means I have to find ways to make money. I started Patreon, and I continued to sell albums, doing gigs. I politely asked if people want to donate so that I could keep going a little bit, and people just kind of did, and people do. And that's how I make it my job. And I think that's what works for me. It was different for everybody, but I think basically diversifying, spreading out, putting all your eggs in different baskets is the way to do it, I think, these days. And to find odd jobs that you kind of love, as much as possible in lots of different areas. So teaching, performing, mixing, like doing like, you know, production work, playing for other people. What else do I do? Where else do I make money? That's kind of pretty much what I do now. I just make handpan content. But before that, I was playing different types of gigs. I was playing gigs with my guitar. I was playing gigs with drums. I was in a band. I was a drummer in a band. It's just about kind of diversifying and finding lots of different little incomes, so that if one thing falls through, you know that you've got something else that you can rely on. And in the meantime, being willing to have a part-time job or a full-time job if you have to make ends meet while you get kind of to the next point. But I think the part where I really felt like I was legitimately making a living as a handpan player, and I've just done my taxes yesterday, and I'm just making a living, just about. But the point where I really felt like I was doing it legitimately was when I took the leap and just gave up everything else. I had part-time jobs. I worked in a factory for a while, playing around with fish. It was pretty gross. I worked part-time as a befriender. That was really fun. So I had other part-time jobs, but when I moved, I started renting the studio. I just kind of decided to dedicate time to it and just drop everything and take that risk. And at the time when I did that, I couldn't really afford to rent a studio and a room and move to a city that's much more expensive than up north where I was living before. I couldn't afford all those things. But I just jumped into it and I did it anyway. And I started working more in this, which meant that A, suddenly I was making more money because I was just going for it. And B, I was getting much better at it because I was just going for it. Anyway, that's how, from my experience. But also lots of luck, lots of privilege, and hours and hours and hours and hours of hard work. And anybody who tells you it's talent is lying. You don't need talent to make a living as a musician. You need grit and determination and no social life. That's what you need. From my experience, anyway. But it's a huge compliment when people say, wow, such great talent, but also, nah, mate, it's not talent. It's a lot of hard work. Anyway, I'm going off on one. I digress. All of that to say, I have a Patreon. Please give me money. Thank you. Bye. My goodness. Thank you, Phil, for teaching people how to donate. That's really amazing. And thank you, Henna, for supporting me on Patreon. Obviously, not everybody can afford to throw money at things. Like, this is why I want to make free stuff. That's why I want to make free stuff. Thanks, Andreas. Good to see you here. Hona was amazing last year. Hona was so nice. And so was the run-up to it, the dojo retreat. Really good fun. I really enjoyed. That was my first time really kind of diving in and teaching a lot. Last year I did a lot of teaching and it was just joyous. I won't be at Hona this year, unfortunately, but the lineup looks amazing, so I highly recommend it. Handpan Festival on the beach. So good. Yeah, cool. Sound baths and DJ sets. Yeah, different pots. And a part-time job. And that's like the perfect way to start, is having that, being able to have a job that you can just switch off when you leave it. Is brilliant. That's why, actually, as gross as the fish factory was, as much as I didn't like it at times, it was actually really good because I could go at 6 o'clock in the morning, work an 8-hour shift, and then be finished at 2 and not be taking the stress of work home with me, because it was mind-numbingly like boring and physically really difficult, but mind-wise really easy. And so I had all of this creative space here. Part-time jobs are great. And I would be on the fish line. So one of my jobs was to, and the best job that I had was really boring, was to stand kind of after I don't remember what all the things were called, but there was a station where people would stand with little knives, little filleting knives, and little tweezers and pull the bones out of the fish, out of the salmon. Then it would come down my line and it would go through this filleter thing. And so my job was to, every time one came through, I would just do this to line it up for the machine. I was just doing that for 8 hours a day, just like bloop, bloop, bloop. And so during that time, and I was quite far away from the other teams, so that people wouldn't really bother me too much, I would, with my fingers, I'd be writing taiko songs, drumming songs, and planning, because at the same time I was teaching. I was teaching youth groups and teaching in schools and stuff. So I'd go do my shift and then go and teach after school clubs. So I'd be like drumming and planning my lessons. I had all of this creative space because it was such a boring job. Perfect. Great. Yeah. I'm sorry that I don't know how to send money on here. I have all of this talk, but I've never actually done it before, I don't think, for any other creator. Sorry, I can't help. But thank you for the thought. Jonas asks, will the Handpan Dojo teachers be offering another intensive? Yeah. I don't know exactly where and when yet, or how much I can say yet. But later, I think probably later in the year, there'll be something at some point. I think. But I'm not the person to ask because I don't actually know. But I hope so. Is there any mobile app to check if my hang drum is out of tune? Yeah. So typically, depending on what instrument you have, you've probably most likely got a handpan rather than a hang. As Jonas says, Lino Tune is a great app, but even I don't have Lino Tune. I just have a guitar tuner on my phone. I just searched on the Play Store for a guitar tuner for my guitar, but it works on the Handpan as well. And then it tells you when it's in the green. Remember my question about the sound bath at Hona? I do remember talking about sound baths at Hona, and I don't remember. I remember we talked about maybe like arpeggios and kind of playing up and down the scale and shifting, this kind of thing. I think we did this kind of thing. Nice. That's amazing. It's amazing that you're doing sound baths now. It's really cool. Success. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Yeah, I do remember having that conversation actually. Gosh. Yeah. Handpan Galaxy. I'm severely ill and playing Handpan is kind of saving my life at the minute. So thank you for all the hard work and great lessons. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Music is incredible, and playing Handpan is amazing. Both for me, it was amazing for my mental health. Still is, but especially when I was in my early 20s, and I just didn't know what to do with feelings. It gave me a sense of identity, and it gave me something that I felt like I was good at, and it gave me expression and a way to say things that I didn't know how to say otherwise. So it's amazing for that. But it's also amazing for like yeah, so many brain things. I was at a workshop. I was teaching a workshop in the Netherlands. I can't remember who said it to me, but maybe one day they'll pop up. And there was a guy in the workshop who was like a brain person. He was like a neuroscientist or a doctor or something, and he told me these really cool facts about playing with your right and left hand, and physically doing this and playing with your right hand, and playing one thing with your right and one thing with your left. And he was talking about the neurons and the way, and like neuroplasticity, and the way that you create new connections depending on the different actions and motions that you make. And he was saying that when you use both of these hands and then also your fingers, like literally your entire brain is lighting up. And he said it in a much more exciting and interesting way and told me the actual facts. And it was really fascinating. But it's so good for you. It's so good for you. And I think that handpan should be prescribed to for rehabilitation and like addressing like improving fine motor skills and reconnecting pathways in the brain. And it was amazing. It was really amazing. I worked a lot before I was doing so much with the handpan. I would work in like special educational needs schools playing taiko, and it was so cool to see like how really focusing on different ways of using the hands and could really kind of rehabilitate and improve and help people with their motor skills, and also with their expression and joy. And music is just amazing. It's the coolest thing. It's literally magic. I mean, it's not magic, it's science, but I don't know how science works, so in my mind it's magic. Anyway. Thanks for your comment, Handpan Galaxy. You're from the Netherlands too. I'm hopefully, maybe, I don't know, maybe coming back at some point soon. Dimitri asks, how many years do you play? It's been almost 10 years now. I started when I was 18. I turned 28 this year. But I wasn't really doing it properly back then. That's a lie. No, I was playing for hours a day, every day. But I wasn't studying. I was just like playing and expressing and playing for joy. It was maybe only in the last kind of 4 or 5 years that I started actually taking it seriously and trying to learn how to play handpan. But I was studying percussion and other stuff before that. Yeah, Phil, that hip hop tune was so cool, really cool, and definitely when as I was listening, I was like, oh yeah, this is a direction. This is a handpan direction. Like it's starting to appear more in like in production-y stuff, like stuff like Dan Queen. Like all of his stuff is really cool. It's like trap music with handpan, and it's starting to appear in more poppy areas like Heidi Albert. If you haven't heard Heidi Albert's album, it's so good. It's so good. It's called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's handpan pop. It's brilliant. And I was doing some research a few months ago because I'm also working on handpan pop album EP. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I was doing some research, and I was like, I'm just going to listen to the charts so I can get kind of an idea of like, what kind of pop music is currently, because I don't really listen to the charts. I do listen to a lot of pop music, but usually quite indie pop. Not really a lot of like, what's current now on the radio. The first song that played on the Spotify playlist that I clicked on, very first song that played, I don't remember what it was, but it was like top of whatever charts. And the opening of it was a handpan sample. It was handpan in the charts, like now. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's happening. Handpan is coming into the mainstream. It's really exciting. So yeah, when I listened to your track, Phil, I was like, here's another like hip hop direction, that kind of like lo-fi, what's the word? like minimalist like beats. It's really cool. Yeah, I'm gonna put a link to Heidi's album in the chat right now because it is awesome. And it's definitely oops. Don't know who Heidi Albertson is, but I just googled her. She seems sweet. I don't know if she's on Bandcamp. She's playing at Hona this year. She has to go to Hona. Neoclassical, romantic, elegant jazz? That doesn't sound like her. Maybe it is. Nope, definitely not her. Okay, well, it is on Spotify. So I'll send you it there. In fact, I don't even have to search for it. It's on my homepage. I'm that much of a fan. Atlas. The album is called Atlas. And it's just great. It's got some banging tunes on there. Particularly Freedom, that's a tune. Too Loud, that's a tune. I've lost YouTube now. Oh, hello. Ta-da! Hopefully that works. Hi, Frosty. Do you like frame drums? Yeah, I like frame drums. I have one somewhere under my desk amongst the mess. That rhymes. But I'm not going to try and look for it now because that would be wild. Wow, I've been live for an hour and 20 minutes. Hey, somebody signed up to my Patreon. Thank you. Thank you, Monica, if you're watching. That's really sweet. Cool. Getting distracted by my phone. All right, what scale should I play next? I have C sharp pygmy, F low pygmy, the hang, the giacobono, F sharp low pygmy, D chord, E sub I, desert rose, or one of the ravs, one of the rav drums. I'm going to put a jumper on, cold. And then I'm going to play for a little bit, and then I'm going to go, I think, probably. Yeah. Happy Imbolc, happy Handpan. This is the final Handpan stream. F low pygmy. It's not a low, it's not an F2, but it will jam with yours if you want to jam with me, Phil. We can do that. Oh, I think somebody actually asked me what the pen was that was behind me. So now we answer that question. Hey! Thank you. Thank you so much. I wrote these chords. I wrote the chords for this instrument down somewhere. Hey, Jonas, are you still practicing Daddy's rolls? I haven't been very much at all. Let's do that now, shall we? Okay, F low pygmy and then the desert rose. Cool. Here we go. F minor, and A flat major. If you want to play those with me. Yeah, everybody's getting their flip pygmies out. Yay. That felt nice. That felt really nice. Yay! Thanks for jamming with me. I really love this pan, but because I haven't taken the time to really learn it yet, I don't play it very much. I think because I got these two pans kind of around the same time, it's really difficult to learn the layout of a new pan when you don't know the scale yet. So I dedicated all my energy to this, and I haven't spent much time with this, and that's inspired me to give it some more love. So yeah, it's got my pan fix for the day. You see how blissed out I am now. Thanks for jamming with me, Phil. Some Bertrand asked about microphones, also sound cards. You can play. I can play. So my setup, I'm not really using it in its fullest right now. Above me, I have a Audio Technica AT2020 microphone, condenser microphone. I've had it for more than 10 years, I think. Yeah, it's quite a cheap mic actually, but really good. And it was my first microphone. It's what I use. And then here next to me and over there, but not switched on, I have a pair of Octava MK something or other. And then I also have an AKG bass microphone that I use when I'm recording sometimes. And all of that is permanently plugged in, unless we're doing gigs next door at the Meridian Workshop, in which case I take it all over. Permanently plugged into a Focusrite Scarlett 8i8, I think. So it's got 4 XLR inputs, which is perfect because I've got 4 microphones. So that's what it's going through. So Yeah, so what you're hearing is that, but obviously terrible compressed audio, live audio. And then at the same time, my cameras are going through this A10 Mini Pro little switcher thing, so I can switch between angles. And then when I record, when I'm filming tutorials and stuff, what I do is I've hooked up the Focusrite to go directly into the A10. So the sound from all of these microphones, actually when I record tutorial, I just use the one microphone usually. So the sound goes straight in and is recorded at the same time as the two camera angles. So it all kind of goes through together onto an SD card. Or rather, I don't use an SD card, it's too small, but a little 2 terabyte hard drive thing. And then I just plug that into my computer and I can just edit that straight away. So it all kind of goes through together. Yeah, I've just recorded a little studio tour so you can see that. Yeah, you're asking if I can play right now. Yes, I can. You just arrived just after I finished playing. Just after I finished playing a piece with this. But Jonas asked me to play the Desert Rose, so I'll play that one. Ooh, that didn't work. There we go. Ta-da! I've been live for a while now. I should probably go home and have some dinner. There's a lot of people here today. Thank you all for being here, for sticking around, hanging out with me. This has been really nice. Yeah, cool. All right. Well, happy Handpanuary, I guess. Whee! Nearly fell over. This is the last live stream of Handpanuary, but you know what? It's been a lot of fun just kind of hanging out live with you. There's a couple of occasions where there's kind of 5 people here and I just used the time to practice, and there's been occasions like this when there's 25 people here and it's been nice to hang out and chat and stuff. So thanks. This feels really nice. And I hope Handpanuary has been as great for you as it's been for me. Yeah, I'm really excited to run it again next year. It might look a little bit different next year. I'd love to hear your feedback on how it's been for you. I'm going to put out a little poll on the community tab at some point this weekend. But yeah, so tomorrow I have a cool, crazy polyrhythm exercise. It's really good fun. And then the day after that, I think there is another autopilot video coming out, which is probably the most difficult, the most tricky of all of them. And it's the last one. And then on Wednesday, just a little wrap-up chat video. And that's it. And then I'll be taking requests for videos that you would like to see. But if you're able to support what I'm doing here, support the channel, support me in making free content, yeah, please come and join the Patreon community where I'll be posting every Friday a new Handpan video, new Handpan challenge, kind of in the same style as Handpanuary. Also notation for my YouTube videos. I'm going to start finally doing that. Or if you just want to drop me a tip in my busker's hat, you can do that on PayPal. It's in the description below. You're all legends. Thank you so much. Yeah, this has been really nice. There's one last question that I didn't have a chance to answer. Sure, with playing while sitting, the pans always seem to slide down, so I decided to get stands for playing. Standing and sitting is your tips. Yeah, if you struggle to sit with your handpan, play with a stand. There is lots of people play with a stand. I enjoy playing. I have standing stands that I like to play standing up, so I can kind of dance around and move around. I think there's a lot of benefit in that. I think there's a lot to be said for that. Yeah, I think it's really good. So yeah, I think basically just play in whatever way feels comfortable for you. But if you're struggling to play on your lap and it's sliding down, then find a chair where your thighs can be horizontal with the ground. Many of us have shorter legs and it is difficult to do that. And handpans are quite large and are typically, I think, made for larger bodies. Yeah, whatever way feels comfortable. There is no right or wrong. As long as you're taking care of your body while you play. The stands that I look like Sideshow Bob. You see the rav sticking out of my head. The stands that I use are snare stands. They're concert snare stands. This one's from Gibraltar, the company, not the place. And they're really good because they've got rubber ends, so it doesn't damage the pan. And they're not super expensive, like a lot of actual handpan stands are quite expensive. Really good because they're actually built for the handpan. But as someone else just pointed out, I have a lot of handpans. I've spent all of my money on handpans, so I don't really have a lot left for stands. So I opted for the snare drum. I think these are about £80. Yeah. Anyway, all right, folks. Sending big love to you all. Thank you all for being here. I was finding it hard to leave because I'm having a nice time. Anyway, yeah, cool. Maybe we'll go live again at some point soon. That would be really cool. Concert with harp and handpan. Cool. That sounds really exciting. Really nice. I love that combination, handpan and harp. It's perfect. Yeah, cool. All right, folks. I must go eat some food, drink some water, rehydrate, chill out. And And yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, Toman is a good company for stands. All right, gang. See you later, everyone. Have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful evening. See you at some point soon, I hope. See you in the next video. Big love.